Hey everyone, in today's video, we are going to solve one of the most scoring and important topics, function, through previous year questions. So make sure you stay with me till the end. Here is what we will be covering today. First, we will look at questions that ask you to identify syntax and logical errors. Then we will tackle the assertion and reasoning format. Don't forget theory question. You may be asked to explain key concept. We will also explore sample papers questions where you are asked to fill in missing statements. And of course, the most crucial one, output based questions. By the end of this video, you will be fully prepared to face any function based question with confidence. So first of all, we are gonna solve questions in which we need to find out the syntax as well as logical errors. Here is the first question. Read it carefully and try to understand the logic. What we are trying to achieve with this code, we are swapping the first element and last element of the tuple. Alright, let's analyze the code. We are calling the function and passing one tuple to it. This looks perfectly fine. After this, the control will go to the user defined function. Look at the function definition. Def keyword followed by name of the function. In the bracket, we are accepting the parameter. In this function header, colon is missing. We got the first error. So let's mark it. Inside the body of the function, we are checking the length of the tuple. If it is less than 2, we should return back. This if statement looks perfectly fine, but look at the indentation of this return statement. So the indentation of return statement is wrong. Here is the second error. Alright, let's move further. Look at this statement carefully. Using tuple of -1, we are accessing the last element. Because we are swapping here, so first of all we need the last element that we got. Using second slicing, we are taking the remaining elements. It means 2 and 3. This looks good. This is also okay. We are writing tuple of 0. It means we are trying to access this element. But when we write single element tuple, we should not forget comma. Here comma must come. In this way, we got the third error. We know single element tuple we create by writing element followed by comma. If we only write like this, Python will consider it as a integer, not as a tuple. Now let's come back to the next element in the main program. We are printing the swap tuple. Print swap tuple. Here we could notice comma is missing because we separate message and the variable name using comma in Python. So here is the fourth error. So after removing all the scribblings, hope this is clear to you now. First error, second error, third error, and here is the fourth error. After proceeding further, we got one more question in which we need to find out the syntax, logical errors from this code. After finding out, rewrite the code and underline the corrections made. So write the code neatly, make the corrections and underline it. In the previous sample papers, there used to be only syntax error, but now you have to take care of the logical error. So try to understand the code too. We are writing this code to display only those strings from the given list of string that has one repeating character in it. It means what? To understand this code, let's assign some values. This is the first string hello. The second string we will take hi. Let's take one more string welcome. In the first string, L is getting repeated. In the second string, E is getting repeated. So according to the code, we need to display these two strings which has repeating characters. Alright, let's try to understand the code now. Here is user defined function. The first statement looks perfect. Moving ahead to the next statement. Here we are using input function with eval to take input of list of strings. Look at the statement carefully. This bracket got closed, but the corresponding brackets of eval function did not get closed. So this is the first error. Let's underline the error instead of underlining this bracket. We got our first error. Let's proceed. There is a nested for loop. Look at the outer for loop. For I in L. Using I, we are iterating over the individual elements of the list. The syntax looks fine. Here is inner for loop. For j in I. It means what? J will take the individual characters of the string. Look at this statement. We could notice that colon is missing. In this way, we got the second error. Alright, moving further, we are using conditional statement if. If j dot count of I is greater than equals to 1. Look at this statement carefully. We need to count the character, and the character we are getting in j. So how this statement actually should be? We are counting the characters. So j should come here, and we are applying this count function on the string, and individual string we are getting in I. That's why it should be I dot count j, and if count is greater than equals to 1, we are printing that string. So ultimately we will get the string because we are taking the string in I. So this is fine. This way we got the third error. The statement should be I dot count j greater than equals to 1. And if we get the count of any character greater than equals to 1, we will stop the process. That's why we are using break statement. And here is the function call. So in this way we solve this question. Hope you understood the concept. Alright then, in this question we need to find out the syntax and logical error, even runtime errors. So underline and write the correct code. Let's analyze the code. Here is the first statement, def followed by the function name. In bracket we are passing the parameter. In the first statement itself we got the first error. Colon is missing. Let's proceed to the next statement. Variable s is getting initialized to 0. This statement looks fine. Here is the next statement. We are using for loop. For I in range 1, count divided by 1. Look at this operator. This is a division operator. Division operator gives the result in the form of float. But range function cannot take float values. We need to provide only integer values. So instead of division operator, we must use float division operator. So that is the second error. Let's proceed. In this statement, we are applying some function on some values. But if you remember, sum can be applied on iterables like list, or it can be applied on tuples. But here are the individual values. So that is invalid. It should be list, or it can be tuple 2. In this way we got the third error. After calculating sum, we are returning it, and using print statement we are printing. But look at the print statement. When we pass parameter to the function, we use parentheses, these round brackets. So here is the fourth error. We should pass the value like this. In this way we got all 4 errors. We need to find out the errors and rewrite the code by underlining it. Look at the first line. We are getting error here itself. The keyword is def, not define. The second statement is correct, even third statement also. When we will come to the fourth statement, here we can notice that W is capital. This is the second error. Proceeding to the next statement. Here the operator should be assignment operator like this, not comparison operator. We got third error. Next statement is perfectly fine. Even this also looks good. Now look at the return statement. The indentation level is wrong because return statement is inside the while loop. It should be inside the function, not inside the while loop. So here is the fourth error. You will be writing answer for this question in this way. Underline the error, rewrite the perfect code, and even mention all the errors. For rectifying each error, you will be getting half marks. So there will be 4 errors in the code. Let's read it carefully. Assertion said positional arguments in Python function must be passed in the exact order in which they are defined in the function signature. We know there are 3 types of passing parameter. The first is positional argument, second one is keyword argument, and the third one is default argument. In positional argument, the position matters. We must follow the order. In the exact order, we need to pass the parameters. It means what? A is absolutely true. We need not bother the order only in case of keyword argument. Alright then, let's proceed and read the reasoning. This is because Python function automatically assign default values to positional argument. This is absolutely false. In case of positional argument, default argument will not get initialized. That is the case with the default argument. In this we will pass some default value to the argument that will get initialized, but not in case of positional argument. It means what? A is true but R is false. Please read the question carefully. For changes made to the variable defined within a function to be visible outside the function, it should be declared as global. This is true. Look at this example. Whatever changes we made inside the function and that changes we want to be visible outside the function, we declare this b variable as global b. The same concept is written in the form of sentences. Now look at the reasoning. Variables defined within a function are local to that function by default unless explicitly specified with the global keyword. And we know this is also correct. The variables which we declared inside the function are local variable. From this it is clear that both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation for A. So here is the question. Read the question carefully. There is a given code. Now let's read the question. Which of the following statements should be given in the blank for the missing statement if output produced is 110? Now look at the code. B is initialized to 100. After this, control will come directly to the statement where we are calling the test function and passing value 10 to it. So the value of A will be 10. Come inside the function. For some time ignore this missing statement and continue to the next statement. Here we are adding A to B. In this expression we know the value of A is 10. What about B? We can see here B is initialized to 100. But it is a global variable. To access global variable inside the function we will be using global keyword global B. So the B can be accessible inside the function. Then we will get the value of B inside the function, that is 100. Now B is 110. That's why when we will print the value of B, we will be getting 110. So the correct option is C. Here we need to write the code. Read the instructions carefully. There is a dictionary. We need to write one function count now, which is taking parameter places. Means it is taking dictionary as a parameter. What the function is gonna do? Display the names in uppercase of the places whose names are longer than 5 characters. So what exactly we need to do? To write this code, we will be dealing with the values of the dictionary. Values are string. You can see here. If you want string longer than 5 characters, we will apply len function onto it. If string is having more than 5 characters, then we will convert it to uppercase. That's why we are getting this output, London and New York. Why? Because it is having more than 5 characters. Now look at the code. According to the instruction, here is the dictionary. Even according to the given name, we have created function using def keyword. We are interested only in values. That's why we will iterate over value. Otherwise, by default, dictionary will iterate over keys. Look at the for loop. For place, this is just a variable. In places dot values. Places is the name of the dictionary and we are applying values method on it. With this, we will be getting only values. We got values. Now apply len function on it and check it whether it is greater than 5. If it is greater than 5, using upper method, we are converting it to uppercase. So the code is done. Hope you understood this code. For that second question, we have choice. So let's check out the OR part. In this also we need to write one code. Read it carefully. Here is the function len words taking parameter string. What this function will be doing? Returns a tuple containing length of each word of the string. Here is the given string. Come, let us have some fun. Now look at the output. We are getting length of each word. Come is having 4 length. Let is having length 3. In this way, we are printing the length of each word. It's time to write the function. The name of the function is mentioned, so write exactly as it is. Here the name of the parameter is uppercase string, so change it accordingly. We need to deal with the words of the string. For that we will be using split function. With the split function, all the words of the string will get split. That's why in the variable words we will be getting one list in which we have the separated words of the string. Now we need to calculate the length of the each word. For that we will be iterating over the list. Look at the for loop. For word in words, we are iterating over the list, taking each word and calculating the length of it. Alright, then we will be getting length of each word in the length. For the first word, it will be 4. Wow, we got the length. Now what is our next task? We need to write it in the form of tuple. And that length we will be adding one by one. But you know, tuples are immutable. We cannot change the content of the tuple once it is created. Now how to do this task? If it would be list, the task will be easy. Just we need to use the append function. But in case of tuple, we have to do some other arrangement. For that, what we will be doing? We will be creating one new tuple with the additional elements, and that we will concatenate using plus operator. So here is the empty tuple, tuple 1, in which we need to add all the lengths. For that we have created one single element tuple. Look at the syntax. We create single element tuple by writing first element and specifying the comma. Same thing we are doing here. We are creating single element tuple and concatenating it to the tuple 1. In this way, one by one the length will get added to the tuple. Write return statement as we are writing a function. No need to call it because according to the instructions we will be writing only function. I have written this statement because I need to call that function and check the output whether it is working fine or not. Hope you understood this code. Give it a try. Let's try to understand what we need to do in the function. This is the name of the function display books, which is taking dictionary as a parameter. It should display the name in the uppercase of those books whose name starts with consonant. You know, vowels are A, E, I, O, U and the remaining are the consonant. Look at the code. We initialize dictionary according to the instructions. Here is the function. In this program also we are interested only in values. So we will be iterating over values using values function. In the values we have the name of the book and we are interested in only the first alphabet of the book name. Each value means each book name we are getting in the variable item. So using index I am taking the first alphabet in the first variable. As we need to check the consonant, so we cannot write all the alphabets. It is easy to write the vowels. It should not be vowel. If it is not a vowel means it will be consonant. We will come inside the if part. Which task is remaining now? That book name we need to convert to uppercase. So we are applying upper function on the item variable because we are getting book name in the item variable. We are done with the code. Here is the output. And that was only our required output. If you want to try it yourself, give it a try. There is one more question in which we need to write the code. I love to write code. What about you? Let me know in the comments. Here is the string. Learning history helps to know about history with interest in history. Oh, we need to search the word history in the given string. So the function find word is taking two parameters. First is string and the second is search. It's time to check out the code. Here is the given string and the word we need to search, that is history. According to the instruction, function is also ready. Look at the string. We need to count the word history. We need to split it. For that we will be using split function. So in words we got a list of the words which got split. Now we will be iterating over the list using for loop. In the word variable, we are getting a separate word that we are checking whether it is a history or not. If it is equals to history, we are incrementing the value of the count variable which is initialized to 0. So every time we get history, it will get incremented. Finally, we are printing it. We can return this value or you can directly print it here. So as mentioned, we are getting the output. The word history occurs 3 times. Whenever you need to work on the words of the string, use split function and iterate over it. After iterating, you can apply the required condition. Here is one theory question. The difference between actual parameter and the formal parameter. You know, when we call the function, the parameters in that function call are actual parameters and the parameters in the function header are called as formal parameters. The word argument and parameters are used interchangeably. If it is specifically asked, these are arguments and these are parameters. Here is one more theory question, the use of global keyword. We solve questions based on it, but you should be able to write theory part also. If you want to access the global variable inside the function, we use the keyword global. There is one more theory question in which global and local scope we need to define, and we are familiar with this. Global variables are the variables which are accessible globally, and the local variables are accessible within the block. There is one question which is based on the type of the parameter. Here we need to explain positional parameter. We studied 3 types for passing parameters to the function. Out of that, the one is positional parameter. In this, the parameter is passed according to the position, and we must provide values for all the parameters. That was all about positional parameter. Even there is a question based on default parameter. Here are lot of questions based on functions which are in the form of assertion and reasoning. Even there are lot of output based questions which are taken from previous year sample papers as well as from the board papers. So make sure you will go through this video and check out this question for more practice. In this way, we covered lot of questions based on function. In the next video, we are going to discuss how to solve output based questions. I will simplify it for you, so stay tuned. If this video helps you, give it a thumbs up and share it with your classmates, and subscribe if you haven't already. In case of any doubt, let me know in the comments. Alright then, until then, keep learning, keep practicing. I will see you in the next video.